IVM.
Hi everybody, just wanted to ask everyone for a quick favor. We're running a brand survey right now and would really appreciate it if you could let us know what you think about the advertising on IVM. Go to ivmpodcast.com/survey and do let us know. As part of this, we'll be selecting 10 random participants and sending them some IVM swag, so do fill out those surveys.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with workaholics. Did you know that 47% of Americans and 40% of people in the UK consider themselves as workaholics? They continue to think about work even when at home or on holiday. 57% checked work emails over the weekend, and 16% said that they could not eat a meal without checking their phone email. Now, to many of you listening to this, you must be wondering, what is so surprising about it? We all check emails on the weekend and we think about work on holidays all the time. And in fact, 47% might seem like a really low number. Especially in the last 2 years, this number would have shot up quite dramatically. And this is because for many, many people, there is nothing to do but work. When a study was conducted with workaholics, a very interesting theme emerged. Most of the people were working from a place of guilt, fear of losing their job, fear of not earning enough money, fear of not being as good as everyone else. And you can imagine just how much this fear would have increased in this last year. They worked to get rid of feelings of anxiety, depression, to act as a distraction from life. Some were fearful of spending time with their family, and hence work was a better option. The key learning here is that most workaholics operate out of a sense of fear or guilt. This then starts to affect all aspects of their life. When they're not at work, they're feeling anxious about not working. They're feeling anxious about the time that they're wasting by relaxing or spending time with the family. And sleeping is done only because it is a necessity. Bathing is a time for brainstorming ideas. And the reason I know all this so well is because I was that kind of person. And I so vividly remember going for a holiday with my whole family. And this was the first time a holiday was being done in a long, long time, all of us taking an off together, and we were going to Goa. I was flying directly after a work trip from Delhi, and the family had already gone there a day before me. The family had literally twisted my arm into joining me on the beaches of Goa. Can you imagine that? So I landed one day later in my formal clothes, leather shoes, and this while the whole flight was full of people in shorts and Hawaiian t-shirts. On the way to the hotel, I was listening to music on my Walkman and making a strategic plan for the business in my head. And I feared that this time on the bus could be wasted if I did not do this. It was a 4-day holiday, and on the 4th day, when it was time to return, was when I actually relaxed and got into the holiday mood. Isn't that sad? And I know many of you can relate to this. All this was born from a place of fear. Strangely, I do not consider myself a workaholic, and I never did at that point of time. Instead, I thought of myself as a high performer, like I'm killing it. But only later did I realize the difference between a workaholic and a high performer. A workaholic works from a place of fear or guilt or greed. These are all negative emotions. These are emotions of a lack in your life, not having enough, all of that, etc. However, true high performers work from a different emotion. They work from an emotion of love. They love what they're doing. They love the impact it has on the world. They love the sport that they want to perfect. They love who they are when they're working towards their goals. And love is a far stronger emotion. I realized this when I was telling a friend that before 9 a.m. these days, in the morning, I would have worked with about 20 people, helping them out in any way I could. And this pace continues through the day into the evening. I feel tired, but satisfied. I don't fear anything. There is no fear because I'm doing it out of love, and I'm doing it without getting paid for it. So there's no fear about earning less or money. In the same way, most of the high performers we see or know would happily do this for free because they love it. the opportunity to do it is payment enough. As your habit coach, I want you to become high performers, not workaholics. Work from a place of love and not from a place of lacking fear and guilt. Let me ask you this. Do you work or study out of fear or love? If it's fear, then this habit is for you. So your simple habit starts by addressing all the fears and guilt that you have about the work that you do, about the studies that you do. Learn that all fear starts from a place of loss. Get rid of the loss and you get rid of the fear. What is it that you have to lose? Forget about it. Then I want you to begin loving what you do and begin loving yourself for what you do and who you are. Loving the opportunity that you have. And finally realize that you work so that you can have a beautiful life. If you work and forget to live, what a waste it is. So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome180.
Hey, everybody, it's been a great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Filter Coffee Podcast, Karthik speaks to Vishnuvardhan, director of Shersha, about his experience while creating a real-life version of Captain Vikram Batra. I'd like to make a quick announcement. After 2 successful seasons, the Empowering Podcast is returning with a makeover, presenting the Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawala. Tune in every Monday to be a better version of yourself. This time, it's about a battle in the sky on the last brand standing, Jet Airways versus Indigo. Anupam and Ambi tell us what led to the downfall of Jet Airways and the rise of Indigo. On Khel Niti, Rajiv Mishra, Sabha Karim and Rajkumar Sharma celebrate India's second historical win at the Oval in their test match against England. With our hosts Tony, Chuck, Naren and Shriketh on Simplified, find out what the Indian government's latest direct cash transfer program is all about. And on Echoes of India, Anirudh explores the Indian campaigns of Alexander the Great and the rise and falls of the First Gangetic Empire. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of the shows on the IVM network for that matter, please do tell a friend. We really appreciate that. And finally, I'd like to thank the sponsors on the network this week, Fiat Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quarter, and CoinSwitch Kuber. We really do appreciate the support.
Working Monday to Friday glued to your chair making you feel dull? Worry not. Get your 5-minute weekly dose of travel around the world with postcards from nowhere. Join me every Thursday as I explore the strange, obscure, and fascinating parts of the world and bring out facets of travel you may not have thought of before. You can find us on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcast from.